Welcome to the Dystopian Renaissance. We cover spirituality, healing, consciousness, and truth. In this chaotic world we live in, it's important to get out of the matrix, and we'll do just that with biohacking, nutrition, spiritual awakenings, alternative healing, and freedom. This is the Dystopian Renaissance, and this is your host, Johnny Sage.
Welcome to the pilot episode of the Dystopian Renaissance Podcast. I called it that because it's about making the most of an otherwise crazy time in our history, and I'd like to explore what humans are really capable of. The four main topics we'll be discussing are healing, spirituality, consciousness, and truth. I had my awakening in the physical world first. This was well over 15 years ago. Some people call it 3D or the Freedom and Truth movement. Then about 4 to 5 years ago, I started a healing journey which led to a spiritual awakening. And while I was healing, I met some exceptional people who were very talented and had a lot of great information. I actually wanted to start this podcast then, but I had a lot of healing to do, and I started late, so I felt I was playing catch up. I know now we're where we are when we're supposed to be there, but back then it worked out because I was able to do a lot in a relatively short amount of time. And I just have a much better mindset and perspective than I did back then. I know who I am, and I'm able to speak my truth. I'm going to start this podcast with 3 short solo episodes. This way I can let you know what it's about and give you my background. Whenever I first meet someone, I'm always curious to know who they are, where they came from, what experiences they've had, and what they plan on doing. This helps me really get to know them, and I'm hoping this will do the same for me, so you can understand why I've reached the conclusions that I've made. Then we'll be moving on to the longer format, and I'll bring on the guests, which I'm really excited about. There's no set template, but I know some of them will want to talk about when they had an awakening and what that was like, or when they knew it was time to start a healing journey and what that process entailed. Then if they're a healer now or involved in the community, what services they offer and how they can help people. I know there's not one right process for everyone. We're all different and here for different purposes, but there are some similarities and some things we go through are the same. On the other hand, there's some things we can avoid, and I truly believe we should avoid. I know some people say, oh, everything's a life lesson, and that may be true, but you don't have to experience every life lesson firsthand. There's some things you can take other people's word for it. For example, narcissists, BS, phonies, scams. If something's unnecessary and you get the warning, I find it's best just to avoid it. But good information is good information, so I'm hoping some of the things my guests share, if something resonates with you, you can go explore it on your own. I'm a healer now, and a lot of my clients had that initial awakening. And like me, I think we all did in that stage, they feel alone. Like there's no one they could talk to or would understand what they're going through. So with this, I'm hoping to reach a bigger and different audience so I can let them know that not only are there people who've been there, but have gone through it and have turned out okay. I also have friends and met some other people who are stuck in a rut and not making progress, and some are there by choice, and that's cool. But for the others, I'm hoping to provide advice on how to have breakthroughs so they can keep going and get back on their path. I'm dedicated to bringing you quality content, both in production value and the guests I bring on, so I started a Patreon. Any amount you could donate would be greatly appreciated. If you have any suggestions about topics you want me to discuss or guests you want me to bring on, just comment or write in. Please like, follow, and subscribe so you can be notified when the next episode comes out. Thank you for tuning in today. Be seeing you.
You've been listening to the Dystopian Renaissance. Spirituality, healing, consciousness, truth. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from the show. Make sure to like, rate, and review the show. And tell a friend or two. That would help also. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Dystopian Renaissance. And please find the website at www.thedystopianrenaissance.com.